Coming up on this edition of Southwest TV News. Members of the Saskatchewan NDP recently gathered to nominate their candidate for the upcoming by-election in Swift Current. Weather can change quickly, especially on the prairies, and no matter the time of the year, you should be prepared for an emergency, including a power outage. And it all starts with being prepared for the next 72 hours. It's that time of the year when many are planning a winter getaway to a warmer destination. And as you finalize your travel plans, ensuring your home is safe and secure while you're abroad is something the RCMP say should be top of mind. Thanks for joining us here today. With a by-election on the horizon in Swift Current, the local NDP have selected their candidate. Members of the Saskatchewan NDP recently gathered to nominate their candidate for the upcoming by-election in Swift Current. Two familiar faces from the community stepped forward to represent the NDP, including Sean Hanna, a business owner and the interim president for the Southwest Youth Emergency Shelter, along with Swift Current Comprehensive High School drama teacher Stefan Rumpel. And after speaking to the local crowd, the ballots were cast and the membership chose Stefan Rumpel as their candidate for Swift Current. A vote of confidence, which Rumpel takes to heart, as his interest in politics has grown over the years.
As I've gotten older, politics has just started to come up more in conversations with friends, with family, because it affects so much of our lives. And it's something that when you're a little younger, you don't necessarily think about as much. And as the conversation has come up, I've been drawn to it, and I've wanted to really get into how do we fix these problems that people see. I've always been wired that way. If there's a problem between people or in a situation, I want to solve it. I want to be part of the group that makes it better for everybody. So it was an easy transition.
And now that he's officially the NDP candidate for Swift Current, Rumpel says he's looking forward to meeting local residents to hear their concerns and work hard to be their voice in Regina if chosen as the new MLA.
We have seen budgetary decisions over the past 8 years that I've been teaching that have caused fewer supports in schools for students and now possibly could mean teachers' jobs. And that is not something that I want to see happen, so I want to advocate to make sure that doesn't happen. Because if we believe we want to grow Swift, then the number one thing we can do is make it too good a place to leave. Make it a great place to live in general. There's already so many good things about it. We need to build on that if we want to grow.
A by-election which the provincial NDP will be watching closely, as its own leadership contenders for the party were in Swift Current to offer support for the local candidate.
And we have an important by-election before us, a chance to send a message to the SAS party at a time to work together and to build for the future.
And Swift Current, for the first time in quite a while, won't have the premier running here, and there will be, I think, an opportunity for people in the area to step back and ask a question. Okay, now what do we want? What's really going to be the best voice for Swift Current?
And now that the Swift Current NDP have selected their candidate, Stefan Rumpel will appear on the by-election ballot alongside Saskatchewan Party candidate Everett Hindley and any other individuals who step forward in the coming days for their respective parties. An actual date for the Swift Current by-election has yet to be announced. For over 12 years, Southwest TV News has provided the visuals for the defining moments in our community. Support your community and help us to continue our work. Support our sponsors by watching the ads on YouTube and by clicking the ads on our website. Pennies per click, which will help us continue to bring you the award-winning news coverage you've come to expect from Southwest TV News. Well, are you prepared for the next 72 hours? If an emergency strikes, we find out what you should have on hand at home. Weather can change quickly, especially on the prairies. And no matter the time of the year, you should be prepared for an emergency, including a power outage. And it all starts with being prepared for the next 72 hours.
We will try to get to everybody we can as soon as we can, but when you got 17,000 citizens and 20 firefighters, it takes us a while to get there, and same with Public Works and Light and Power. We prioritize things and we work as hard and as fast as we can to get things restored and get people safe. make sure that you have some way of heating your home. When you don't have power, your furnace won't run, stuff like that. If you decide to run a generator, don't run it inside. Put it outside and run a cord inside, because the carbon monoxide will kill you. And your carbon monoxide detectors probably aren't working if there's no power. So, things like that you need to be aware of. Also, if there's a major emergency, remember that you should be able to take care of yourself for 72 hours. Have food, water, clothing, your medications to last for about 72 hours.
He further adds that we need to be mindful of the day-to-day items we use and often take for granted.
That's right. A lot of people don't think about the cash end of things, but, we all live with that credit card or the bank card, and we go to buy groceries and we buy them with our bank card. One of the biggest issues in those power outages is, first of all, the item on the shelf in the grocery store doesn't have a price on it. It's got a price on the shelf, but not on the item, so they can't even ring it through without power. And then when they do ring it through, or they finally get it added up, they can't take your credit card to pay for it. They want cash. So have a little bit of cash set aside.
Weather-related emergencies or natural disasters can happen at any time, and the better prepared you are in advance, the easier it'll be to focus on the issues at hand when an emergency occurs. As you fly off on your winter vacation, the RCMP are reminding you to have a house sitter. It's that time of the year when many are planning a winter getaway to a warmer destination. And as you finalize your travel plans, ensuring your home is safe and secure while you're abroad is something the RCMP say should be top of mind.
Obviously, the best solution or way to victim-proof yourself is to have someone that you trust stay in your home, because then obviously it is lived in. But if that's not an option, pay one of the neighborhood kids to shovel your sidewalks. Maybe talk to your neighbor, see if they'll park one of their vehicles on your driveway every now and then. Ensure that any ladders or tools that are in your yard are locked up or out of sight. We don't want to have anybody have the easy access or provide them with an opportunity to climb through a window. Make sure your windows and doors are all locked. Some other things you can do are put timers on your lights and possibly maybe a desk lamp or something like that. And then outside you can also put motion detector lights on. Make sure those are working, and not only make sure they're working, but to make sure light bulbs aren't burnt out.
Staff Sergeant Hodges goes on to add that alerting everyone on social media of your travel plans and the length of your trip is not always the best decision.
We don't encourage people to advertise that they're going to Jamaica, on their Facebook page the week before they go. We even discourage people to post pictures on Facebook when they're down there, but that's not quite as critical as it is to advertise and invite thieves to set up it on their day planner as to when you're going to be gone. Social media is a big animal, as I like to say, between Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. Not to be just on Facebook, but that seems to be the popular one. When you put something on there, sometimes people don't realize the audience that it reaches around the world in some instances. So be very leery always of putting any personal information on there or responding to questions from others that you don't know. And again, if you're putting it out there, everybody can see it, not just the person that's asking.
By taking a few simple steps in advance and letting only those closest to you know of your travel plans, you can fully enjoy your vacation and keep thieves away from your home.
We would take a fundraiser that they do every year at the universities, and we'd extend it across a whole week here in Swift Current in our own community.
For over 12 years, Southwest TV News has provided the visuals for the defining moments in our community. Support your community and help us to continue our work. Support our sponsors by watching the ads on YouTube and by clicking the ads on our website. Pennies per click, which will help us continue to bring you the award-winning news coverage you've come to expect from Southwest TV News. Well, this brings to a close another episode of Southwest TV News, reporting the stories that matter to you. We always welcome your news tips. You can always reach us here by phone at our studio or by email to contact us at southwesttvnews.com. Also, be sure to join us daily online for the latest news from across Southwest Saskatchewan and so much more at southwesttvnews.com. And be sure to follow us on a range of social media. Thanks for joining us here today. I'm Carol Andrews.